Hey YouTube!
Hey YouTube.
Pointies! Now, at Scott's again.
I'm
You
doing
forget
my
to see that.
usual and I've left the volume switched up.
Yay!
Right.
And then you put it back up again. Is it two volume controls? Two volume controls that? I don't like two volume controls, Matt. That Ibanez Roadster that I really love, and
Alright,
I didn't tell you, but I've kind of gone off subject already, but I put the one with the burst finish on it.
yes,
The white one?
Yes.
The one you wanted to swap for a Jaguar car, not a Fender Jaguar. I put it on the Ibanez Facebook page, and a guy from Sweden messaged me. So I have to buy it. I've got the world's biggest Ibanez Roadster collection. I can't remember, 220 of them or something like that. And I don't have your one. He makes guitars, Odin guitars,
Right.
which and they look good. It's like he's a guitar builder. I'll give you a good price for the guitar. I'll pay all the shipping, and I'll give you a free Odin guitar of your choice.
Nice one.
For it.
Have you got this Odin guitar as well? Nice one. Or did you take money?
I didn't sell it. I didn't want to sell it. I really like it. I mean,
from the guitar for that Ibanez.
for that Ibanez,
right,
that was
yeah,
what he wanted to buy it because I put a picture up. So I had to buy it.
I want to buy it as well. It's great.
It's a lovely guitar, but it's once I got into it, it's got the two volume controls.
Yeah.
I much prefer having two tones or a volume and two tones.
Yeah,
when it comes to
and it's just confusing, isn't it?
yeah, you just get used to it. I'll turn it off.
Starter thing.
Yeah, you're not going to break the switch doing that.
No.
Especially not on maybe on the Gibson switches. That's the ones that's got the springs in it that size. Maybe one of them will survive, but if you're going to be doing that on anything else, it's like please break me.
What is it we have here? We've got
right. So
pointy things.
Pointy things. Probably my two least favourite looking guitars you own.
I don't know. This one looks like it wants to declare war on the rest of the guitar collection. It wants to knock guitars over. It wants to kill you.
Yeah.
No, I like it. You hate it.
I got that in a
Passionately
trade.
hate it, yeah.
I got it in a trade, and that sat on my wall in my videos for a month, and I didn't even play it. It's a great guitar.
Oh yeah.
I've got no desire to play that guitar, and then I was sitting there, and you can't see it. I'll do a video of the pedals. He put on a picture on Facebook of his
from hell.
camouflaged Crybaby from Hell, and it was like,
if you look it up,
I know the perfect guitar for you, and there was a picture of it, and it was like, how much you want for it?
And I was like, oh my God, give me that guitar. But look at it, it's mad. It's completely off its head.
You don't really appreciate how big it is until you have to try and navigate. I mean, it's like here, just try not to smash it off everything and me.
See, one of the funniest things about it is as soon as I got a hold of it, obviously I got home and put it through the garage, and then I gave it to my daughter who's tiny, and she had to go to guitar lessons with us, and it was absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
It was, because it's bigger than her.
It
was
is.
at the time.
Yeah.
And she had to do these online guitar lessons, and they're like logging on and like,
yeah. I did have a baby. There's a baby version, a baby ML.
But they're great. This is a Dean, and it's got. Let's turn it over. It's actually got a really nice flamed neck. I'm trying to get this in the camera.
It's got the dime bag sort of.
Dime bag, dude.
Aye. That looks like Grover. That Grover tuners, isn't it?
It's Grover tuners, and it's also made in Japan.
Is it?
Yeah.
So it is.
Japan.
And I sold it because I just didn't like it at all. It's like, I'll stand by that. I didn't realise.
I mean, see, to be honest with you, again, that's the whole thing about subjective part about guitars.
Of course.
One person's meat's another person's poison. There's another person's thing that you can kill
people with. Yeah.
I mean, look at that thing at the end. You could literally save yourself.
I do like see the logo where it says Dime.
Aye.
It kind of, what is it that looks? Is it the same as the exact same writer where it says Predator on the video cover or something? It's like that. It's got like sort of shading on the actual logo, and it just kind of looks like an 80s film.
It's not got the Dimoflage. See the stuff that they've got for Dimebag after he passed away. It's a shame. But they've got this Dimoflage and it's little pictures of Dimebag Darrow.
Right.
In different colours to make it look like camouflage. Dumbass thing to do, but yeah.
Right. Is that the kind of idea
Dimoflage, in case you ever wondered, it's not
where Steve Vai took some blood and put it into the original paint or whatever it was?
On this guitar, on one of the Guitar Player magazines, he's playing one of these and he's got something written down here. What's he got written down there? Let's do a competition. Trend Kill. Southern Trend Kill, but it's got Trend Kill written down in white text.
Right.
On this guitar.
And it's got you can make keys yourself. He did
yeah,
the volume controls that It's
It
like
comes with
poking
them,
it with
yeah.
a
Soldering
soldering
iron.
iron to make it more grippy.
So both, it's the way this is set up is it's got a master tone and a volume for each, and that's
Each
it.
bucker.
That's it, and there's your switch there. Completely out of the way. It's
You get used to that. You're definitely not
Yeah.
going to be accidentally strumming that. You don't get the free bit of tape on the edge of the pickup.
or even accidentally playing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a guitar that I could gig. I probably could and probably should.
Yeah.
It's a bit mad, isn't it?
In some ways I think I should like it, but
Yeah, I don't know. Look at it. It's just mean and it wants to kill things.
yeah, it's the size though.
It's
You
the
got a case for it? 'Cause
pickups.
I didn't give you one, definitely.
No, it actually fits the case for that, which has got it's got a Dean case. I've got a Dean soft case that's made for one of these, and it fits that as well.
Right.
But this is quite interesting. If you look at the shape of the Dean ML, it's an X-shaped guitar, and if you look at that one, is also an X-shaped guitar, but much earlier. But you can really
X-shaped.
see the
Well, that's kind of like an Explorer and a
a flying V.
Flying V stuck together,
Yeah,
basically.
but if you look at
no,
that-
you can't, because I bought a Dean ML,
Uh-huh.
the mini one, baby one, and I was going to think I can just saw that up there and make, because I want a Flying V at the time, and it's like the lines don't line up,
Don't line up, no.
which is a shame because it's not actually. It's a much steeper.
Yeah,
A V's much shallower.
but it is an X, what they call an X-shaped
Yes.
guitar, kind of, and that one's
Well,
an X-shaped guitar.
I've got my X Destroyer, so this is.
Well, that one I actually really like. That's a kind of arty looking guitar. I don't know if you've noticed in the back of
I
that.
somehow see something dancing with this with their leg out. Is there not a logo for something that has this shape has like a dancer, like a sort of Olympics 2012 or something? It's got like this is
that kind of shape.
aye, with one leg out. I don't know.
That was the first leg of coronavirus guitar. I got that in a cardboard box, like a manky cardboard box with just bits in it,
Right.
and I had to reassemble and set up the whole thing again, redo the neck, redo everything.
Serial number starts 97, and I
Yeah.
remember wiring it.
And it's a Japanese one.
So this will be wired the same as.
Well, you've got the original pickups that came out of that guitar. See those invadery type ones that I gave you. Seymour Duncan designed. Or did I give them to someone? I gave them away
They do ring a bell.
because they were really terrible. Well, no, they weren't. They were just really high out.
You
and
gave me
screamy.
a set of pickups with this guitar with chrome covers on them, and they sounded absolutely awful.
Yeah,
Remember
that was
them?
the ones that they were great pickups on another guitar, and then they sounded crap. No, that was in the David Bowie Explorer.
Right. Yes, but
That's
I don't think I've told you, but I used those pickups.
Right, and they were probably good.
It's they were out of phase.
Ah.
See you get 4 wires in the pickups, and you join the white and red ones together,
Yeah.
like you always do. Not on whatever those pickups are. It's the wires are the same, but it's the green and white you put together, the red's out, the black's thing. So I was like kind of going, that's very much an out of phase sound. So
Yeah.
try just swapping over these wires, swap them over, and then it's not out of phase anymore. They're good humbuckers.
They're Iron Gear. Is that what they were?
Oh,
Something like that, weren't they? I
it could have
gave them
been.
to you.
There wasn't. Aye.
And it's really nice. That
Yeah.
guitar.
I don't think it ever had knobs.
Well,
when I
that's a
had it, I
push-
think maybe
no,
it-
well,
I don't think it
only
did.
the only one it had was the middle one,
Right.
so I had to replace that, and that's a push.
Yes, I remember
That's
fitting
been
that.
Mad Malco to that guitar.
Yeah,
The wiring anyway.
I wish I'd put washers behind it and lowered it down a little bit. Kind
Well, I
of
don't know.
it's sitting a bit high up.
I quite like the height on that because you can definitely see when you're in singles mode.
Yeah, but I mean it's just on its resting position. But that's what I was saying about that.
Yeah.
The other thing I don't like about that Ibanez, which I pure love, the white one, is the pushes. When you push it in, it goes back to looking exactly the same. Whereas in this one, you can clearly see it's up.
Yeah.
You can clearly see it's down.
Still,
Great.
yeah.
Whereas the one in that Ibanez is like you push it and it's like. You
but-
can't tell, so you're forever sitting there with your 2 stupid volume controls, both of them pushy,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't know whether to.
But those pickups are brilliant. They really are. Iron Gear.
Yeah,
It's one of the sides. They do
it may not be
sides.
brilliantly in tune. I forgot to actually take my forgot to
Well,
finish tuning this guitar.
It's yeah. I mean, it's kind of half pro type.
Yeah, this is. Aye,
type
and
thing.
this guitar's a Japanese one as well. It's
Yeah.
a Chushin belt,
Yeah.
and it's like I was going to say there's a wee bit of a nasty bit in the back there, but it's clearly that screw's not in fully.
It's just not in fully.
It's just so I was kept catching my finger on thinking.
Actually, it's the wrong size of bolt. I need to I need to cut down the bottom of it. See if you look at the way that's sculpted.
Yes, I can see. It's
got one of those kind of
it's at an angle, so it's like these bolts
Yeah.
are shorter than these bolts.
Yeah, so
So
that's one of the things to be careful of when you're building guitars.
Yes. I know somebody who I remember playing it and going
right through the
diddle
finger.
diddle diddle diddle, and it's like that was just something. Why is my finger
Dragging.
bleeding? It's because the screw had come right through the fingerboard, and it was the pointy bit was just enough to poke through when you were giving it a bit of a bend.
So I reckon that one would probably do that if I were to drill that all the way home.
Yeah.
But I'm just, again, I've not bothered to. All you have to do with that is get a grinder on it and take the top half inch
Aye.
off, basically.
Because you're not wanting to go any further into the neck anyway. You just want to use the outside of the screw, so it doesn't really matter if it's
That's one of the problems with
just
guitars
hack sort of.
with bolt-on necks. Is there's a forward wave in the wood grain coming off of the bolt going into the neck.
Yeah.
So these frets round here and these frets underneath this one will, through time, on all guitars, come up and cause you fretting issues.
Because you're squeezing, you're sticking the screw in,
if you imagine
which is parting it,
it's almost
and it's
like
just taking a while to get used to.
it's a pressure wave if you think about it in front of the screw hole going into the wood.
Mm-hmm.
And the tendency is to use these pneumatic tools and they tighten it like
Yes.
tight.
Yes.
And it causes that pressure wave.
Yeah. So you really want to be. I normally when I'm drilling holes to put like into a new neck or I've plugged up the old ones, I'll drill it a few times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, going slightly further in and getting slightly wider, so that there's enough there to grip it. Because if it's too tight to turn, that's when you start talking about you're pushing the wood apart. So, if it's too loose, then the bolt just goes in the hole.
And what
falls
happens
out.
is you get cracks in your finish here.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when you look in the fan forums, they're going, "Oh, my guitar's got a crack in there." You can see that they've tightened it too much at some point in its life. But again, one of the
the thing is, the wood's deflected, so it's not really a crack in the wood; it's a crack in the finish because that's
in the finish. It's
that's
just
solid poly. It's not.
But that's another. We talked about that in another video. Whenever you've taken the neck off a guitar, put the tension back on it, and then take the screws loose and tighten them again, so as you get a perfect pocket joint.
Yeah.
But for all this guitar looks completely insane, it actually stands up as a straight up guitar.
No, it was a good guitar. I wouldn't have tried to swap it with you if I didn't say it was really good. It was like, I just can't. I just don't want it.
I think the difference between this signature model and his own one is the Bill Lawrence. He's got Bill Lawrence pickups.
L400,
something like
or
that.
X400, LX400, something like that.
In the bridge, and he's got a
800.
something else in the neck.
Yeah.
And these are kind of close approximations, and they actually are pretty good. They're a fairly dynamic, do you know what I mean, set, so you can literally play anything on this guitar, even though it looks like it wants to commit war.
I think maybe it's just I just don't know what I would play on it. I don't really know any Pantera or can play.
Well, again, this is the thing.
But I mean, if you,
I played in a ska.
So I struggle with what to do with it.
I played in a ska band and kind of punk stuff, and I've never played this one. I played the other.
You played this one. No, not this one. That one.
That one up there.
Yeah, that's why.
And that other V over
it is a ska guitar. It's got a checker plate, scratch plate on it, right?
But again,
checker board.
These raise some really good money now, don't they? I don't know why. Well, it's a really well made guitar, but they're quite expensive now, and it's quite a nice guitar.
They're still cheap in America. I remember seeing a Phil McKnight thing, and he was going in looking at I'm sure it was Jackson's.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was like, if I've got $500 to spend, it's only 300. It's Japanese, isn't it?
It's always going to be better. I mean, if the neck on that's really nice, the frets were actually pretty warm, but because they're massive, gigantic frets,
you got plenty of room to work with.
Well, I did. I completely ground them down and re-ground them.
And they're still jumbo. They're
huge,
just not super mega jumbo anymore.
Yeah, same as this one. This has got big jumbo frets in it too, and the fretwork in this guitar is actually pretty good. I mean, it really didn't need much, and it's got a really nice. Look at the headstock. Even though this one's been snapped.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
But I mean, that's a really common injury. It doesn't affect like a neck break.
Look at the size of it.
It's huge, I know.
It's like, I mean, it's just.
Well, do you remember those old-fashioned things you used to get for taking your boots off?
It's always a welly taker offer. I was about to say that we had one.
It's kind of like that. You could have that sticking out your house and it would work. But yeah, if you look, it's got quite nice graining.
It does, yeah. Scarf joint on it as well.
Yeah. Well, it's got a volute and a scarf joint, so the belt and trousers. Was it belt and braces?
Belt and braces. It's got the lot.
And the Grovers and old school.
I wondered if I would like it. See if you get like the old or the original ones where it's kind of looks like a Les Paul. You know, you get the cherry sunburst and stuff like that. They look actually unbelievably looking at it. When you do that, they actually look pretty classy. It's the camouflage that makes it not classy, I think. Well,
yeah. And there's where the strap goes, which is why not? I suppose I would have probably put it there.
Yeah.
But actually, on the strap, this one is okay.
I don't have a problem. It's got the, you can do what I'm doing. It's like
Well,
you can do the V thing a little bit.
That's the thing. You can actually sit with it and kind of play it,
Yeah.
because you've got that bit there.
And you just imagine you're sitting at a party trying to play that on a couch with people sitting on either side of you. It's just, you know.
I know. It's probably good for a big band for getting people out and way of you.
Yeah.
Because you've got points.
Oh, even Braxton, if you're playing in a tiny pub.
I've got another Pointy Jackson over there.
Pointing
I
at
used
the
to
Pointy
play that
Jackson.
one in the band, and that was great because it's got a big, huge arse on it. It's got a massive ass. Yeah, this is a great guitar. It's actually a lovely sounding
probably
guitar.
fit both of these on my leg at the same time, and they're sort of similar. Yeah, sort of.
A Jackson
Yeah.
RR4.
And another Japanese one, another cushion, 96.
Another cushion, 96.
So you know, I don't like the shape of this guitar at all either.
Do you know, it's such a lovely guitar to play though. I mean, it really is lovely.
It's nice. There's just something about the Randy Road shape I've never. Yeah. It just doesn't. I don't know why.
It actually sits quite nice on a strap.
Huh?
It really does. Lovely. It's not true. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's. Let me turn this.
And I think I seem to remember putting pushes, or maybe not. So.
No.
So maybe take stuff out of this.
I was thinking about doing that, but what we've got is that set up.
I've definitely had it.
I can't remember what we did to that.
I've definitely been in this for some reason.
No, you replaced the tone pot.
Oh, right.
A broken tone pot, but I quite like that the way it is. It's set up as 2 master volumes and a tone.
Right.
So it's quite good. Do you know what I mean? It's quite usable guitar.
Yeah.
But that's all stock, and I really like it. See the neck pickups. I mean, it's a really dark sounding guitar. It's a really dark, woody sounding, like an old Les Paul sound. From the
Right,
neck.
and it's not what you would think about a lightweight thing.
It's
Or
actually, see, for
not particularly
gigging,
lightweight.
for a gigging guitar, that was brilliant. It really is, because you can really throw that around and it really keeps itself together. That's not plastic, that's metal. I'll put vinyl over the top of it to make it look
ska. That's perfect. Actually, it looks like I'm playing quite a good double neck guitar. Actually, there is one you can get that kind of looks almost exactly like that.
Yeah.
Whereas
So-
it's kind of with 2 of these on it.
Yeah, they're not that fit. See, another thing about these guitars is you can actually look at this. You can stand it like that and it's not going to fall over. I'll take one of those.
There's that.
one.
But whereas neither of these do. Well, you can stand it as long as you don't mind the guitar sitting at a funny angle.
This is such a long guitar, this one.
Perforation.
Ooh. Is it locked
Yeah.
here? Oh,
I
it's
don't know. There's no saddles on it.
It is. Oh, the locky bit mechanisms I've taken off and stolen for something else.
Been there.
Yeah.
I don't think this thing's in tune either. Is it?
Sorry. What were you again?
I'm sort of kind of in roughly and maybe sort of kind of half tune.
That's just bleed, isn't it? To the other one.
Guy doesn't sound like he's doing anything.
I can't set this on. It's such a pain in. That's the design flaw of this guitar. With another flying V, see the way he's sitting there.
Well, this one's not perfect either.
It's not
I'm just
perfect,
kind of
it's
having
got
to
that.
avoid that. But I mean,
But this one, look at that. That's the most stupid place to put a jack. So what happens is you can't actually put it there because you're
yeah.
stabbing your leg with the jack. So this is a guitar that really has to be played standing up. It's a pain. in the face.
Even if you've got like an L-shaped jack, you're still resting it against your leg. So it's
Yeah.
like ideally you don't want to be in a situation where your lead's getting wobbled anyway.
But it raises a lot of eyebrows, this one, because it's a really nice.
you played it in a scab.
guitar, and I've played it
Is that, see, it's a performer?
Yep.
Is that that year? Because I mean it's the same serial number system as this one, apart from this is the year after.
It's a year after in the same factory.
Yeah, so I think it's Tushin. So is that basically they were no longer called performers in 1996 or whatever this was?
I don't know.
Was that 97? So in 96 you could maybe buy this
Performer one.
the performer one, and then 97 it was no longer called the performer but still a Jackson.
It's a great guitar. It's one of the ones that I would probably recommend. Again, as a cheap guitar to buy, but again, easy to mod and really nice to play next.
But you didn't really need it. You said it was pretty much
No,
stock.
this is pretty much stock, but again, there's a fascination when people buy guitars that they think they need to upgrade the pickups and they need to buy this,
Anyway.
and buy that.
Anyway. Yeah.
Most often not, you don't. It's just down to a setup issue, and maybe a caps or pots issue before it's going to be the. You're better giving your guitar to someone like
me, you know. It's the thing. See the difference about making. See, just like having the pickups that are too far away from the strings. These pickups are dead muddy sound and dead quiet, and so you look at the guitar and the pickups are like that far away from the strings. It's like, well,
sounds terrible. Yeah.
It can make a huge difference just coming up 2mm can just make a pickup go from being to being that's really good.
Awesome, and the caps as well, and the kind of pots and stuff.
Yes, well, not if they're all right, but they could, if you're talking about a guitar like this, these are obviously decent when they were new, but they're now 10 or 20 years old. So that pot maybe they're not premium switch cap pots. They'll be fine for 10 years, but after
you've
that,
got the resistance thing as well. Where it's got to be kind of 500k for you.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is if you've got a pickup that sounds really dark and it's got a 500k, if you put a 250k one, it'll brighten up. No,
other way around.
Other way around. Sorry.
So I was sitting there going, it makes sense, but it's the other way around. It can make
the other way around. You can make a bright guitar darker.
Yes. So the 250k, if you think of that being in a Strat, because a Strat is like obviously super shrill, so you want to muddy that down.
Yeah.
Whereas if you put the Strat ones into a Les Paul, it makes it dead muddy. It muddies it down too much. But then you sit there and you fight with if you're going to put coil splits in, which is obviously. You want the 250k to make the humbuckers light.
We tried to work that out, didn't we?
We did. There was a way of doing it. I did actually get a circuit. The way I was doing it before, when I didn't actually look up a circuit, tried to do it myself. But there is a way of turning it into.
See, that's one of the problems about splitting pickups. When it's a humbucker, you're splitting it to a 500k pot.
Yes.
So a single coil.
So you end up with a really bright single coil
rather than. Yeah. But Jackson guitars are really good. This one I quite like. This one. You don't like it at all.
It's not just the same. It's just basically I'm just going to call this video the ones I don't like.
Yeah,
it's like they're all great guitars. I'm not going to argue that at all.
So well made. I mean, they really are.
No,
because
it's the same as
silly shapes and all that, but
they're because partly the Jackson, the Tushin factory had an offer to do jobs to build Jacksons, but there was an exclusivity deal on it. And they were making a kind of washburns and stuff, and then basically it's like if you're going to build Jacksons, you've got to take the lot. You know, you can't build. We're not wanting 500 guitars a month. We need 2,000 guitars a month. If you can't do that, you don't get the contract. So they basically stopped building everything else. Only made Jacksons, and they died in about 2002, I think, something like that. But I mean, considering most of the other Japanese factories died in '88, they made Jacksons pretty much exclusively for a decade, and they weren't building. Like now, when you buy Japanese guitars, it's only the premium ones. These are not. These are just well built, basic.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Budget models.
One of the things that you notice is going through time is the bridges hold up.
Because they're.
Well, it's because the blades are hardened steel and all the rest of it. They don't wear down as much as the kind of base metal bridges that you get on the cheaper made Chinese guitars, and some of the early Japanese guitars had cheap metals as well.
Yes, definitely.
But I mean, that's one of the things you can. They stand up. I mean, that's still a perfect. Look at that. But I mean, when they're new, they work quite a lot. Even the cheap ones. I mean, I bought a couple off Amazon. I bought the cheapest one I could find. It was £15 or something, and because it was all new, it actually was working really well. Just like maybe in 10 years' time, you're maybe thinking maybe I should have bought it. Do you know we've got another top tip?
Go.
We need to have a jungle that shoots up in the middle of the top tip. No. Right,
I think I'm not looking at it going that's a bad idea. If I knew how to do that, I would do it. But
if you hold up that one to this kind of level, see if you look at the tremolo assembly on these, they've got like a wee nut there, and what that does is you push your tremolo arm in and you screw it in like a normal one, but that's like a tensioner and it pulls it into the guitar and makes it tension. But the problem with them is they become ill-fitting through time, and the way to fix it is take out that nut, take out the bar, and get a plastic straw. Drinking straw and cut a third of an inch and cut a little slit in it and then put it inside the hole and then just force the bastard bar into it and it makes it perfect. So never, I mean,
you do it that with this one. This one's got a slight
There's hardly anything there, though. There is a straw in that.
Yeah.
So there's hardly any. There's no tall. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah, but you can see looking at that one, I can see that one's pure.
Pingy and all that.
This is just a wee bit. Or maybe not.
I might not have put a straw in that one yet. Maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
But that's.
I think it would be just incredibly floaty.
Could be, but that's one of the top tips for these ones with that, because you can tighten that, tighten that, and tighten it, and tighten it, and it's never going to make any difference. It's just going to destroy your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's drinking straws, not the paper ones, the plastic.
I think there's probably an element as well of if you buy it wasn't in a video I was talking about a GoTo arm for my Westone,
right?
The Pantera, and it just fits amazing because I've spent like 11 quid or 12 quid on a tremolo bar. I didn't do what I would normally do when you can buy one that looks almost exactly the same. You can buy 3 of them for a £5 from China.
See, this is one of the problems.
It's maybe
Ibanez, Trems, every Trems bar's bloody different as you go
just a
through the
little
range.
bit, yeah.
Why Ibanez?
So you can buy exclusively. Yeah. I don't know. In saying that, like I got a guitar.
I can't play like Joey Santoni. Where's my money back? But yeah, well, there we go. Pointy Guitars Part 1.
Pointy Guitars Part 1, or possibly
says.
also the guitars that Malcolm doesn't really like very much.
The
thing is, that if I did like the shape, I would totally have one of these.
Get the headstock in the middle. There's your clip.
And the baby metal thing. Pointy
Guitars.
That's getting lifted.
Oh, this is nice.